This is a Jmix exclusive.
So, does Suge Knight ever get to see the streets as a free man again? Probably not. And you'll know that because you'll start to see that they didn't really have him on the hit and run. What happened when Sloan reached in, from what I've been told, is he tried to grab the keys out of the ignition. That's the scuffle that you're seeing. That he hit Suge, he's in there, he's trying to grab the keys out of the car. All right, he has a gun on him. That's called a forcible felony. That's carjacking. You can't do that. And California state law, as well as where I live, Illinois state law, says that you can use deadly force when someone is committing a forcible felony against you or others. And that was a forcible felony. Now, Terry Carter that got ran over, that guy was Suge's best friend for a long, long time. He actually set up the meeting. Suge didn't mean to run over Terry Carter. But Suge says when he started to back up, and if you've ever been to Tams, there's not a good place to do a turn right there. I've been there. When he goes to back up, he says he's seen another guy get out with a gun. So he goes forward, slams on the gas. That's clear-cut self-defense, and I think any attorney in the world, no matter who it was, would have got him off on the case. And I think the DA started to recognize that. That's why you see the threats come out against F. Gary Gray. They want to throw that charge on him. They just put Toy in jail. Throw that charge on her. They're throwing as many charges as they can because they know that the Tams case is weak. So they're trying to bury him. So as much as I'd like to say free Suge because of the Tams incident, I don't think they're going to let him go. And the only reason you're seeing the police, LA County, throwing all these extra charges on him is because they know they don't have him on Tams. They know they don't. So now it's threats to F. Gary Gray. Now it's, he's extorting people and all this. It's garbage. The DAs typically do this. Look, I've been arrested a few times. And what the police do and the DAs is you'll get arrested I got arrested for a battery one time. I got in a fight. Well, we got on the ground, tussled. I might have kicked the guy on the ground, allegedly. So I'm arrested for battery. While they're booking me, during the daytime, DA comes back and says, well, it's battery, aggravated battery, this, and this. They can throw as many charges on top of the original charges they want. Sometimes the police do it at the scene. Sometimes the prosecutor does it. So what's happening with Suge is the prosecutor is throwing as many extra charges as they can to try to keep him in jail. And there's reason for that. Because Death Row did have police officers that were working for them off duty and on duty. Look at Kevin Gaines, look at David Mack, look at Rafael Perez. Now, Suge is dangerous because of that, because he knows their dirty little secrets. And like I've said before many, many times, Suge Knight is a dangerous man because those same people, not David Mack and Rafael Perez, not Kevin Gaines because he's dead, but you got to think, if there's 3 cops there was probably more cops involved. Even Reggie Wright said there was about 25. Some of those cops back then were rookies. Now they're colonels, they're captains, they're lieutenants. Keep that in mind. He knows where the bodies are buried. He knows the dirt that they did, and they want to silence him. Because when you're free and you're running and doing network shows, you can say what you want. But when you're in jail, the public views you a whole lot differently. They don't take you, you're not as credible. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make Suge Knight not credible. That was a long-winded answer. I'm looking at questions. Do I think Suge would get murdered in custody? Not in county jail. Maybe if he gets sent to prison, it's a possibility. But in county jail, there's too much blowback on LA County for them to do that, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. But I think I think that they'd rather have Suge silenced. I mean, look what they're doing to his fiance. Look what they're doing to him. Yeah, they want to silence him. And I think if they can't do it the right way, they'll do it the wrong way. Let's ask somebody honestly in this chat. Do you trust the police? With everything going on in the last 5 years, do you trust the police? I've been saying this for years. There's good cops out there. There are. But there's a lot of bad cops out there. And it's proven. Trust me, when you're listen, the Kevin Gaines report on my backup channel says that they were watching out They were providing lookout for cocaine deals. This is an FBI report from the Russell Poole file. It's on the backup channel. Go look at it. So that's a dirty cop. If you're like doing an off-duty job for a record company and kind of making sure that they can do cocaine deals, you're not a good cop at all. Exactly. Now I'm starting to see the police comments. Exactly. That's my point. That's my point. And I see a lot of people defending police lately. Stop defending the police. Why are you defending the police when they have a track record of lying? It just doesn't, it blows my fucking mind, man. It's like we're living in end times. I never thought I would see so many people defend a crooked cop. Defend a cop who's not allowed back in a federal courtroom because he lied. Reckless disregard for the truth. Trevon, he doesn't want to talk about it. And you know what? You say that he is you say that he's a bitch for not doing the interview. I think he's the smartest person in the world for not doing an interview, because I believe he has something to hide. Just because, Jmix, you should have posted the video on YouTube of Greg Kading stealing someone's camera. It's already on YouTube, or I would. I didn't want to get the copyright strike. Trevon Lane is doing a record company right now, trying to get his music thing off the ground. He's still around. Last time I heard, though, he was in Texas or something. I don't know if that's true. That is that's a rumor. Of course, Kading wishes all this could go away, but okay. Would I ever want to interview Reggie? Absolutely, I would jump at that in a second. I would jump at that in a second. Because, look, I've listened to a lot of his interviews, and even on the Bomb First interviews, he contradicts himself. If I knew I was getting a Reggie Wright interview, I would, I don't want to give any secrets away, but I would write down every contradiction and ask him the question, and I'd let him answer it, and I probably wouldn't even confront him in the interview. I'd just wait till it's done, and I would show all the different answers that he gave. Tell RJ to get his ass home on the live stream. I can't tell him, he's at Peanuts. Would you ever interview E.D.I to ask why he changed his story about the night Tupac was shot? Yes, and I've interviewed E.D.I before. E.D.I kind of gave me a quick interview, but yeah, I would ask him. But I've seen E.D.'s responded to other people in direct messages about some of the stuff I said. And when E.D.I was asked about, why did you change your story on the Fox special when the police statements say something else? E.D.'s response was, man, you know them police be lying. E.D.I, it was your statement. Look, I'm not saying the police are saints, but it was your statement. You sign off on those. They tape record those. That was your statement, bro. You made it. I mean, it's nice to blame the police 20 years later, but which one is it, E.D.I? Were you keeping the street code, or were the police lying? Because you can't have it both ways. So, why do I believe Malcolm Patton killed Tupac and not Orlando Anderson? Watch some of my videos. Because there's no evidence for Orlando Anderson. When Tim Brennan did his raid, they let Reggie Wright Sr. know the day in advance. That what addresses they were going to hit. So the most corrupt cop in the world, head of the most corrupt agency, got all those addresses in advance. So whatever they found during those raids, thank you, Joe Blow, whatever they found during those raids was meant to be found. And they handcuffed Orlando Anderson. They asked Vegas, hey, you want this guy? We got him. Vegas said no. And what do you think? Vegas doesn't want to solve that crime? Of course they do. Look at what's going on in Vegas right now. You can see how frustrated the Vegas police are that the FBI are involved. They're very frustrated about the situation, and of course they'd want to solve it. They don't want LA taking the limelight, and they don't like Greg Kading taking limelight for stuff that's their case. He's saying, I solved your case. What do you think they think about that? some guy writing a book, doing movies and TV shows, saying he solved their case when they couldn't. They don't like it. And trust me, if they could pin in Orlando Anderson and close the case officially, they absolutely would, 100%. Look, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you, Joe Blow. I see you on here all the time. Thanks for the super chat. That's awesome. XCon's been my homie for a long time. Shout out to him. One love. Thanks, guys. That's the end. I'll see you next Wednesday. It'll be a good one, I promise. Right on.
Yeah.